It's about taking time, community leaders, getting to know each other, and understanding each other's challenges and opportunities.
One of the great things about these trips is that everyone gets the chance to learn about things that they may not be involved in on a day-to-day basis.
Road trips in all their forms are just a really great way to get to know people really well.
I don't think collaboration happens until somebody makes it happen.
It's pretty demanding. It's, when you're going with the chamber, they keep you moving. And so you start really early in the morning. I'm sure anyone who has done an interview with you talked about the ungodly hour that we got up and rode that bus.
Pretty much hit the ground running when we got there. Learned about the airport. Anyone that hadn't been there before seemed kind of in awe of how nice it was and the amenities that they had there.
I would call their airport aspirational for us. Modest in size, 4 gates, a nice litany of flights in and out to a nice collection of other airports, and I think it's aspirational. I think we could become that same airport. We also then had a representative from the Chamber who's been very active in working with the city and some of the planners from the city. And they talked about how they worked on initiatives between the business community and the city to find ways to overcome obstacles to doing business.
And while that doesn't matter to a great degree, in fact, I think there was one time on the Allegiant Airlines, you remember when they were talking about coming in, and they said, well, the runway's not long enough? That's baloney.
So we went from the airport to a driving tour from somebody who was a Columbia native.
Columbia's own Randy Wright took us around a tour of Gainesville, Florida, and the highlight of that and the culmination of that was at the swamp. And he took us to the President's Suite looking down, and it's so interesting because the swamp is open to the public all day long. And so the kids get in there from the university and they're running the stairs and jumping up and down the stairs and working out. There were hundreds of them in there. It was like a gathering place. It was really neat.
After that, we sort of checked in and had some time to just get to know each other.
So day 2, we were able to actually head down to the University of Florida and had a couple sessions set up on their campus. One was a tech transfer session where we actually learned about their tech transfer office and patents and licensing and how they do things down there.
Certainly I was interested in learning how a university serves as an incubator for economic development in a community. So obviously Gainesville is the recipient of all the work that went into creating Gatorade. And they had to create sort of an incubator so that other industries, other businesses, other ideas could come to fruition using the brilliance that exists at a university system. And so why wouldn't we have that kind of established setup so that when we create something here, it doesn't leave for a metropolitan area like St. Louis and Kansas City.
Then we migrated down to the police department and heard a couple different presentations.
Presentations on community policing, which really interesting because Columbia is in this place where we are just kind of dipping our toe in community policing. And they've been doing it in Gainesville for a long time and they've had some real success stories. Another group viewed transit because Gainesville has a really well-developed partnership between the university and the community on a shared transit system, and so there's rapid buses with lots of people on them. Their transit system is very modern and high-tech, so that impressed a lot of people.
That night we had another chance to kind of get together as a group and just kind of network. Had a nice dinner, again another historic building. Our final day came quickly. You know, day 3 is kind of the wrap-up day.
We spent the final morning kind of going over what we'd learned from each session and talking about lessons learned and what are priority areas that we want to work on when we get home. And so that helps us have this kind of shared vision.
And you could just look around the room and see your bankers, your city council, your city manager, your media, your public school. You got to see this entire community of Columbia looking around and saying to each other, the answers are in this room.
I think everybody in the room appreciated the opportunity to hear from one another and hear about what we could take back and what might work, what might not, and try to prioritize those ideas.
We've got this momentum of, we want to do this together. And I didn't see that beforehand. And so when you think about what's next for this community, well, what's next is that we do things together.
Hey Columbia, Missouri, my name is David May. I'm President and CEO of the Fort Collins Area Chamber of Commerce. We're looking forward to having your group here in October, so if you like microbreweries, a great college town, the mountains, you're going to love it here. Look forward to seeing you in October.